6 weeks earlier, a robbery from the local wholesalers at the Honoré Tilde copyright docks had involved the police station being called and then called again due to the discovery of a body underneath the floorboards of the fruit and vegetables storehouse. Sergeant Camille Baudy bagged the samples and PCs Fidel Best and Dwayne Myers pulled out the body. Thankfully, the deceased was dressed and remarkably well preserved. "I'm going off the island with a broken bar him or her," she told them, looking across to the strange Englishman for whom she was developing affection. "Commissioner Patterson's orders. He has a list of tests that he wants to be done, in addition to the DIs." She moved the list to her bag, and then pulled it up her shoulder. "We've arrested the owner. Seems he had been employing people illegally to avoid declaring the business as a medium-sized enterprise." Dwayne tapped his desk. "When we questioned him, the brother crumbled. We have both of them in the cells." Camille looked across to D.I. Poole, absorbed as he was in the papers on his desk. She might have thought he wouldn't notice, but of course he would. It was detail such as that which hadn't softened her towards him. If only he wasn't so stiff and reserved. But then, if he was a smooth talker and a fly-by-night, would she hold him in such esteem? 88,888,888. Her mother had insisted in packing her a bag of food. Like they don't have food on Antigua. Camille has complained. Complained. For her mother's food was the best in the world. The forensic laboratory was not much more to look at than their own station. Larger, perhaps, and with a brick-built core building at the center with refrigeration and more sterilization. She had been given a suit to wear, and gloves, and followed a Mr. Gold to the inner lab. "So this is where it all happens," Camille murmured, as she looked at the stainless steel surfaces and instruments, more advanced even than Richard had, with his knockabout chemical tests done in old coffee cups and chipped glasses. "It's where it all happens." Taken aback that her words had been repeated verbatim to her while she waited, Camille looked coarsely in the direction of the speaker. A woman, dressed similarly to her, slight, slender, and with an auto-pipette hand was looking at her. "Sorry, hands full," the woman said, nodding to her hands. "In the middle of an assay from Saint Marie?" "Sergeant Baudy." She looked across to Camille, a slightly scornful look on her face. "Yes," Camille pecked back. "With the analysis list from our commissioner." "Leave it on the tray there, please," she added, as if the manners were needed, even though she didn't really want to give them. "And you are?" "Charlotte Brooke, District Islands Forensic Analyst." She nodded to the wall. "I'm from where all your answers come, Sergeant." "Myself and my team." "And they are, Miss A Broken Bar, Ems," Charlotte Brooke corrected her. "I have John Gold," she continued, "and Harris Kerr, who works nights." "Just the three of you?" "Just the three of us." "Now, if you will excuse me, I need to finish this Guadeloupe job by lunchtime. Unless you are volunteering to stay and assist." The question was more a challenge rather than a genuine option. Ems Brooke smiled and then nodded to the tray beside the one Camille had placed the analysis request. "Goodbye, Sergeant. And please, take your results." Camille Baudy found herself stamping her steps towards the ferry terminal. She had only just met the woman, but Ems Charlotte Brooke had annoyed her. Her tone, her manner, her directness. There was something. At least she had the blood analysis for the homicide that had happened aboard the luxury yacht 2 weeks before, and, she put it behind the other, the stomach contents assay of the man who had been poisoned 3 days ago, luckily recovered. The ferry came in, and Camille did not know when she had felt happier to see it, and get away from that wretched island and that even more wretched forensic laboratory. 88,888,888. D.I. Richard Poole was waiting for Camille as she came off the ferry, 4 hours after she had stridden aboard it. He looked a little agitated, which was to say, he looked like normal, but his eyes flickered, as if he didn't know what to concentrate on. Camille considered it high-level body language analysis after 3 years of knowing him. "Why did you go to Antigua?" he asked her, getting into the orange Land Rover beside her. Dwayne nodded to Camille from the driving seat. She turned to look at him, astonished. "The samples needed to go to the lab, as you said, and I've got our delayed forensic report." It wasn't enough, The detective inspector was waiting silently, his eyes on her, lingering, expecting more. Camille caved, and then got defensive. "Why?" she asked, gripping onto the reports as if holding them hostage. "Why?" Poole repeated. "Yes, Detective Inspector, why?" Dwayne and Fidel exchanged looks. "Because we have been missing our forensic reports for nearly 2 weeks." "Don't go again. Phone their commissioner. Speak to me, leave Antigua alone. Do I make myself clear, Sergeant Bordy?" Camille sighed. "Yes, sir."